Hi, my name is Elena Peterson, and this is my Kendall Art Scholarship presentation. Growing up, I spent my summer days on Manitoulin Island, a small island bordering Lake Huron. My family owned a small remote cottage deep into the woods, completely disconnected from traditional society. It is the largest freshwater island in the world and is full of nature which remains preserved and bountiful. During my childhood, the time I spent here was sacred to me. This experience allowed me to praise the beauty of nature at a very young age. The art I was surrounded with on Manitoulin Island inspired me as a child and continues to today. It served as an example of nature and art. The connection I made to the artwork and the nature of the island has manifested as my biggest inspirations in my life today. When I draw, I always include aspects of nature embedded in my work. I've been an artist ever since I can remember. I've always thought like an artist, and I am able to see through an artistic lens. From the moment I could hold a pencil, I have been drawing. It's been my driving passion in my life and a huge part of my identity. Art is a way of my expression, and nature has always been my inspiration behind how I express it. When I analyze the elements of art, such as color palettes and different designs, aesthetics, and everything I see is just so perplexed and well thought out. A few years ago, I came to the realization about nature and art. To me, nature is the most 3D concept that art can be compared to. When I observe nature, I see deep complexity within inner workings. I see how smaller aspects of nature work together, driving the function of its whole. This inspiration to me is to make art as in depth as I can and to portray the same 3D element of art as I see it in nature. This is similar to my grid drawings. I use grids frequently when I'm creating a piece because I find it successful to focus in on each individual box of the grid without looking at the rest of the piece. And in the small box, you get to create a whole life of itself. My best work is when I focus in on depth, before I carry out the full vision of my piece. A technique inspired by nature itself. I am passionate about creating pieces that serve to interpret nature because it is what inspires me most in everyday life. Along with me maturing as an artist, I have learned to go deeper within my artwork. When I was younger, I would just notice the shapes within my artwork. As I grew older, I challenged myself to go further in depth with what can be seen within the details. Just like the importance of detail, in nature, it is equally important to focus on the details in art. For both, they are needed for the overall creation of optimal functionality. In addition to my artistic inspiration coming from the complexity of nature, nature also inspires my imagination. Through nature, I see ideas and images that can be translated into a form of art. When I was younger, I would look out my window to see faces within the tree branches. Today, I draw faces in my artwork that are similar to the ones I have seen within the trees. The beauty of art moves my imagination, keeps me inspired as an artist. It allows me to see things more abstractly and think outside of the box. I've had a very meaningful moment in my life where I felt like the purpose of nature was to be shown to me for full circle. My grandmother passed away a few months ago. She had lived a long life and was spending her last couple months in a hospital bed. A week before she passed, she was having a panic attack in her hospital room. She suggested that she needed to go outside, but the nurse said that it would be too difficult to bring her out and that she would be fine just where she was. When the nurse left, she was still insisting to be outdoors. So when the nurse left, we put her in a wheelchair and took her outside. Once she was in the fresh air, she said that she had never felt better. She was overwhelmed with happiness. We picked her flowers and we took a photograph of her. A few days later, she passed, and I realized in her final days the one thing besides family that she desired so deeply to be close to was nature. This was the meaning and purpose behind the drawing. Nature surrounding her in her final moments. The flowers we picked for her in her hands. As a graduating senior in my high school, my goal is to continue my art education at Kendall College. I need an outlet to portray the art I see in the world and express my imaginative ideas, and I think Kendall is a perfect fit for me to do so. If I were to earn this scholarship, it would make my experience to achieve my goals at Kendall College easier on me financially. While I'm still learning to portray art in the way I desire, and with more skill practice, I will have so much more freedom to speak through my art. I would like to advance my talent to create the visuals of the things that I see around me that drive my inspiration. I am adamant about pursuing my art education to the best of my ability, and by earning this scholarship, I will put all of my efforts into my education and becoming the artist that I am meant to be.